It's always so wild to me when actors mock the source material. That's the reason why they got a job. Without the Fantastic Four comics and fan base, you wouldn't be in this upcoming movie. But that is exactly what Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby have been doing, which shows that they have learned nothing from the Rachel Zegler disaster. So this is a That Park Place VIP article. It says, in what's becoming a troubling Hollywood tradition, yet another high-profile IP adaptation from Disney has its stars laughing at the very material they're adapting. This time it's the Fantastic Four First Steps, where actress Vanessa Kirby revealed she and co-star Pedro Pascal shared a laugh over outdated portrayals of Sue Storm in classic comics. This is so infuriating to me because I understand you as an actor might not know all of the source material. Maybe there are storylines that you've read about that you just don't understand. And I get that they can't take all the time in the world to learn all of the different versions of the characters that they're playing and learn every single little detail, but they could show some basic fucking respect to the fans that are actually showing up to watch their movie because of those previous portrayals, and they could show a little bit of respect to the different writers and artists who actually have made their characters so popular in the first place. We were laughing, Pedro and I, at this early comic where she's kind of complaining, and Reed calms her by buying her a new dress. She used the anecdote to explain how far the new film would go to update Sue Storm for modern audiences. It was framed as a lighthearted moment, but one that signals a familiar shift. Don't honor the old stories, mock them. Unfortunately, this has been happening so many times over the past couple of years with actors who just do not care about respecting the source material and showing a little bit of respect to those creatives, but also to the fans. It's so sad because the Fantastic Four movie has faced some backlash, but there are still plenty of people who were generally excited for it, though every single time they open their mouths, they are talking about how it's being modernized and how they're targeting a different audience, and it just makes me more and more worried about this movie and ultimately is killing any sort of hype that I actually had for it. This, of course, sounds extremely familiar, though, because Rachel Zegler sparked massive backlash last year for doing the same exact thing, only louder and with a lot more detail. In the promotional interviews for Snow White, she called the 37 animated classic weird, dismissed the prince as a stalker, and said her version would show her a leader who doesn't dream of true love and doesn't need a prince to save her, which is also what Vanessa Kirby is saying about Sue Storm, is that she is going to be a leader and she is going to have agency and she's going to be her own unique character. And if this was the only awkward statement about Sue Storm being a strong, independent woman, then I think a lot of people would be able to just write it off as a miswording or a improper description of the character, but they've gone on and on about how she is going to be a leader, how she is going to be passionate, and how she is just generally a modern woman within this movie, which of course just doesn't sit well with me and many other people. We have seen Disney specifically try this over and over again, where they take an older female character, not older in terms of age, but older in terms of when she was first, created, and then they just try to modernize and readapt, and it just turns out to be the same dumb spiel over and over, and nobody is really meshing with these characters. Even myself, as a comic book fan and also a woman, I haven't found any great redeeming traits within these female characters. I don't want to constantly see them on my screen because they're shallow, they're one-dimensional, and unfortunately, we're seeing the same type of strong, independent woman being portrayed over and over and over. And this is sad for me because I like Vanessa Kirby as an actress. I was initially so excited to hear that she was a part of this. And even though Pedro Pascal is very overused, he can act really well when he's trying. But, well, when he's licking and getting ready to deep throat a light like this, I just don't really have a lot of praise to give him. So unfortunately, if you had a lot of hype for this Fantastic Four movie, maybe rein your expectations in a little bit. The producer also had said that Sue was arguably the leader of the team, and the director, Matt Shakeman, made her the head of the Future Foundation, and it certainly appears as though the new Fantastic Four is being restructured about Sue Storm entirely. So I'll be keeping my eye on this, though. As of right now, it is very reminiscent of what happened with Rachel Zegler And it's just really unfortunate that what could have been a really fantastic movie is being killed because these actors just don't know how to, first of all, shut up. But I guess honestly, I have to give them a little bit of credit because they're basically just saving us money. They're warning us that it's going to be a pile of modern slop and that we should stay away from it. So I guess it's good for us, but really, really bad for Disney. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.